I think Tron is favored in like in the.
Yeah, I mean it just goes over. It goes over all of the bean stuff, which is pretty hard to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But there's a lot of variations of that deck, so we'll see how this matchup lines up.
So we're going to see Alberto start with an Urza's land. I think that's the tower, and a chromatic sphere. Sam's going to start with fetching for a Triome. On Alberto's turn, he's going to sack that sphere for green mana, draw a card. I force his land for turn and go for this
Sylvan Scrying.
Sylvan Scrying.
Yeah.
My
Force?
Tron knowledge is rusty.
Force
Yeah, so
negation.
we'll see Force
Wow.
pitching Shardless.
That's bold.
Yeah,
I like it though.
I do too.
It's going to take a lot longer for Alberto to set up here now.
All right, so we're going to see Fetch Shock put into play of the Beanstalk. Makes this pitch cast line pretty elegant.
Yeah.
With the Shardless Agent not being required to find the Beanstalk, it's already in hand. All right, so we're not going to see a land drop from Alberto. We are going to see Expedition Map and Relic of Progenitus. Expedition Map is going to be able to find yet another Tron land, but it's going to have to wait till next turn to crack that map. From Sam, we're going to see Misty Rainforest and a pass. Alberto's going to activate that Relic of Progenitus and draw a card for turn.
And looking at Alberto's hand here, it looks like the only way to get Tron is through that Expedition Map, so he's going to have to find another way to get that third land.
Yeah. Should be able to continue interacting in this game. I did see an Oblivion Stone in there.
Yeah.
This will be pretty effective against these beans. Imagine we're going to see a cycling of Relic of Progenitus at the end of Sam's turn. Alright, so Sam's going to get yet another Triome, untap, draw a card. Going to play the fourth land here. I think Sam has plenty of good options here. It looks like there's a ring. I think I've seen an Omnath.
Omnath, yeah. Goes with the ring.
Goes with the ring. Likely not relevant, but Sam will gain protection from everything here.
Mm-hmm. What's important to note is that the ring is indestructible. That O-Stone will be ineffective.
Yeah, that's true.
It'll stay there. Warping Whale off the top there.
Alright, Roberto is going to play Chromatic Sphere. Immediately cycling it for 1 green mana. Finds another tower. Passes the turn. Sam's going to draw with the ring. Untap, take damage. Draw for turn. Going to draw 2 cards off the ring before making any further decisions.
And what do you think Sam's looking for here, really? I mean, getting under the Tron player, what are the main cards?
I imagine Omnath is really good to run away with the game. I think, pairing Omnath with a fetch land every turn is going to be able to, establish plenty of board presence with Omnath Fury. Earlier tonight we saw that Sam is on Nissa, being able to, find those elementals.
I mean, and here's Omnath. Let's see if this seems like he's fetching on his turn here. Going to add some mana and see what he does with it.
Would you mind pulling up Omnath? Oh, perfect. Thank you. Omnath is a beast of a card. It's a 4-drop, 4/4. When it enters the battlefield, it draws a card. It has a landfall trigger that cares about the number of times it's triggered this turn. So the first land of the turn gets you 4 life. The second land gets you 4 mana. The third land deals 4 damage to each opponent and planeswalker you don't control.
So Sam uses this mana to go for a time warp, and it looks like a warping whale to counter a sorcery from Alberto there.
Warping Whale is really a fantastic card at the moment. Alright, Alberto finds the Sylvan Scrying. Is going to be able to get that last piece of Tron. Unless Sam has Force of Negation here.
Looks like he does.
Yep.
He's going to go for it.
I think Sam's contemplating countering the Sylvan Scrying or countering the non-creature spell that it likely casts. Is going to choose to counter the Sylvan Scrying. It's a smart play given that we know about the Wormcoil engines in Alberto's hand.
Yeah.
Alberto's going to play Gemstone Mine for turn, cast Oblivion Stone, looking to clear the board. But as mentioned, it's not going to deal with the ring. So I'm still going to have a powerful card advantage engine on the board to get back in the game after that O-Stone.
Draws 3. And if you think about it, the ring giving you life every turn can be negated by Omnath's fetch land ability, really making that damage non-existent.
Yeah, the 4-color deck is such a powerful engine. All of its pieces work really well together to counteract their own downsides. So yes, we see another Beans. Alberto scoops it up.
And that's enough.
And we're going to move on to game 2. So as a Murktide player, how do you feel about the 4-color Beans matchup?
Not great, honestly, but I think the Beans version actually made it better. Like when it was just 4-color, like value to Fairy, Ren and 6, it was a lot harder to get back, get underneath it.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like with Beans, it kind of takes more time to set up. You could land a Spell Pierce here. You could, they're a lot more kind of like easy to use their resources, and you can use that sometimes to get underneath them.
Yeah, I've seen, I think especially in the Teamer variants of the Murktide deck at the moment, a Null is becoming a popular sideboard card. I have 2 coming in the mail.
Yeah, I have a Null as well.
And it's really a great card at dealing with Beans early as cheaply as humanly possible.
Yeah. And if you think about all the cards that counters in that deck, you got Ring, Leyline Binding, Beans. These are just like the quintessential cards of that deck that it hits, and that's why you have it in your sideboard for.
Yeah, Leyline Binding might be the best card in the deck. It's fantastic.
Very
it's a
underrated.
1-mana clean answer to anything. It draws a card off of Beans.
Yeah.
It has Flash.
3 for 3 indeed. 3 for 3 indeed. Sam's a great player.
Alright, we got both players shuffling up. I think they may have opted. No, they did sideboard. Alberto will be taking the play here. That's a pretty great hand for Alberto. I see 2 Tron lands, a Forest, and Sylvan Scrying, and plenty of payoff.
Yeah.
It's going to be an easy keep. Sam's going to go down to 6.
I'm interested to see what the post-board matchups look like for this 4-color deck, because Tron's sideboard is pretty much all Karn pieces, so we'll see how Sam can adapt. Looks like he's got a Force Negation in his hand here. That's definitely something that'll help.
Sorry about that. Shot was loud as fuck.
Sam's going to 5.
Wow.
Is this card off to the side, or that's his companion or
Yes,
whatever?
yeah,
Okay.
that's the Giganta Companion.
Playing Commander in Modern. This is crazy.
I used to play plenty of Gigantha back in my Death Shadow days
That was such a good deck.
after Laris got banned. I miss Laris every day. She had to go, but
Yeah.
never left my heart. All right, so off to the races. Alberto's going to lead on Tron piece, Expedition map, which will be hit by the Force of Negation. We do know that Alberto's got the Sylvan Scrying and is likely going to be able to bounce back from this. So we are going to see Sylvan Scrying before Sam's able to get an effective response.
Yeah, and Sam here going for the plan that worked last game. A denial of resources, it seems, but may not be as effective this game. See how it turns out.
Yep. Sam's just going to follow up with a tap breeding pool and pass. Alberto's going to play that Tron piece that Sam knows about. Pass the turn. Sam shocks in Hollowed Fountain. Passes the turn. Alberto follows up with Tron into Karn Liberated. I think Sam really wants to see a Leyline Binding here. Alright, so Sam's going to exile an Endurance to Karn's ability. Plays a Leyline Binding.
Leyline Binding, one of the only clean answers to Karn Liberated there. Fury doesn't do enough damage with how high its loyalty is.
Nope. Alright, so we'll see Shardless Agent Cascade into Up the Beanstalk. So we'll draw Sam a card and also give a 2/2 to potentially apply some pressure, make some blocks. Roberto gets to untap. Spends 1 green on Ancient Stirrings, gets to look at the top 5 cards of his library and grab any colorless card from among them. Plenty of options. So Alberto's between the Sphere and the Expedition map. Expedition map's going to be able to find another tower.
Might just...
Yeah, just opts to take another land.
Yeah. Looks like he has a Wormcoil Engine in his hand. Doesn't need another one there. Just gonna...
I think Wormcoil Engine, Karn...
And the Gemstone Caverns.
Yeah. So Karn's going to hit the board. Alberto's going to -2 Karn, looking through his sideboard to find an artifact.
Yeah.
Put it into his hand.
And I know they never say to admit it's over, but it's going to be pretty hard for Sam to come back from.
Yeah, so we're going to see a ring here. Alright. Alberto is first going to use the tower to add 3 colorless mana, spends 1 of that on Relic of Progenitus, drawing a card, and then uses the remaining 2 and a final Urza's land to cast the 1 ring. Alright, Sam's going to draw, plays land, plays their own ring, comes in a Karn for 2. Alberto won't be able to find another artifact from the board. At least not this turn.
And what's notable here is that Sam is not able to activate the ring due to Karn, so it's just going to sit there, give him protection, and see how that turns out.
So Alberto is going to be able to protect Karn with the Wormcoil Engine, should he choose to do so. Could also end up turning the One Ring into a creature at some point, though we're unlikely to see that with Solitude in Sam's deck. So we'll see a second copy of the ring come in. And the worm coil.
Yeah.
Coming down to protect the Karn.
Alberto almost has infinite time here to set up, so.
We'll also see a chromatic sphere. Yep, we will see the Karn passive. Prevent the ring from drawing cards.
Another land off the top here.
Another shardless.
Look at Elder Gargaroth in Sam's deck there. That's not one you see every day.
Yeah, yeah.
Another Beanstalk may not be enough, but 2 is always better than 1. Let's see if we can get him back into this game.
Yeah, I think this Beanstalk really needs to hit Leyline Binding. I don't think it does. So Alberto is going to be able to draw cards because Karn is an asymmetric static ability. Its activated abilities of artifacts your opponent's control can't be activated, leaving him unscathed. He's going to draw for...
It's over. Normally does it.
All right, we'll get to see game 3. We still got 15 minutes here in round 1. Round 2. So yeah, there we got to see Tron go over Beans.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely not an easy task given the Beans deck's ability to really run away with the game by consistently casting early up the Beanstalks with these pitch elementals. But I mean, Tron is here. Tron has been here essentially since the inception of Modern, and Tron is here to stay.
Absolutely.
The One Ring has really, helped breathe some good life into this deck. And I mean, 7 mana on turn 3 is never going to be a bad thing.
Absolutely. And it's as Beans is one of the top decks in Modern right now. Tron is a great answer to it.
Yep.
One of the only decks that can go over. I mean, even Coffers has trouble going over Beans sometimes, but so we saw Tron dismantle in that game pretty much, and we could see if it happens again.
Yeah, really, if you're playing Modern at the moment, and you're not playing Scam, and you're not playing the Beans, your deck needs to have a good matchup against at least one of those.
Yeah.
These are top decks for a reason. They're both fantastic at what they do, and if you're not on them, it seems like you should be on Tron.
Yeah. I think I looked today, Scam was 21% of the meta, Beans was about 8 or 9%, so it's almost 1 in every third deck will be Beans or Scam, which means Modern players, you better come ready because they'll be at every tournament you go to.
Yep. So for Sam, we're going to see Fetch 4 and Dotha Triome off of the Misty Rainforest for Alberto. We're going to see Urza's Power Plant, followed by Expedition Map. Presenting pretty straightforward route to turn 3 Tron. We're going to see turn 2 up the Beanstalk from Sam. Hits the battlefield, draws a card.
Mine off the top there. Doesn't even look like he needs to crop the map. I
Nope.
think he...
Natural Tron.
Oh.
With the Karn Liberated to follow it up. I think there's a One Ring in there and a Warping Whale. Alright, for Sam, we're going to see turn 3 Shardless Agent into the second up the Beanstalk. Alberto is going to use this Warping Whale
to make a
Scion. Alright, natural Tron for Alberto. Thinking about how to use that 7 mana. The $1 representing both of the Scion as a 1/1 and that it can sacrifice for 1 colorless mana.
Hearing the Karn Liberated.
Drawing 2 cards from up the Beanstalk.
This game is interesting. Wow.
So Commandeer is able to steal Karn here.
Oh my goodness. That's huge.
Sam now has an unexpected Karn. I think Karn's minus is exile target permanent. That's going to hit the Urza's tower here.
Wow.
Commandeer swung the game here.
And from it looking almost hopeless for Sam, it looks almost hopeless for Alberto here. Wow.
Yeah.
2 Beanstalks, Shardless Agent, and a Karn Liberated. I don't know if there's a good way for Tron to answer that, but I guess we'll see here. The ring is never a bad thing.
Yeah, and then we see it followed up with Omnath.
Wow.
Alright, so we'll see a 1 ring from Alberto. Passing the turn. Alberto was able to get Tron back without needing to use the map. Sam's going to shock in this Temple Garden, gaining 4 off of Omnath.
What's interesting here, we'll see if Sam goes for killing Karn to keep him off Tron again.
He's going to draw 2 cards off up the Beanstalk.
Yeah. And that's no, what is it, 6/6, 5/5? That's no, like...
I think it's a 6/6. I think it has Vigilance and Trample.
Kills very quick.
Yeah.
No joke.
What is it? It's like when it attacks.
And, yeah, when it attacks...
You can make a 3/3 beast, you could draw a card, you can gain life.
Yeah, wow. That's a house.
Yep. I think Sam is on a Bring to Light variant, so this is a Silver Bullet card for certain matchups. I think Sam is contemplating what to do with this Karn. Opts to plus Karn.
Just gonna plus the Karn.
Having Alberto
exile a card from the hand.
Oh, no. Sam can't target Alberto, so Sam's going to exile a card from their own hand.
Oh, wow.
Because of the ring protection,
wow.
yeah. Alright. Alberto untaps, draws, I think, Ancient Stirrings for turn. Going to tap the ring to draw 2 cards.
This looks like it's going to be Alberto's only turn with Tron. His Karn's going to be able to take him off next turn, so we'll see what he can do with it.
Alright. Plays a Forest, casts the Ancient Stirrings. We do see a Karn the Great Creator. Could potentially be
Karn,
powerful hit.
Ensnaring Bridge, you can always grab out of the sideboard. That's at least not immediate death.
Yeah, I think Alberto needs to find an answer for the Karn Liberated.
Yeah.
Since Ensnaring Bridge just gets immediately exiled.
His back's up against the wall for sure. We can see how one card just turns the tide of the entire game. It goes from, value from Beanstalks and the Commandeer drawing 2 cards to replace the 2 cards exiled, and just like that.
Yeah, I mean that's really the power of Beans here, is just being able to offset the kind of fair element of these free pitch spells. It's intended as a downside. You get this powerful spell, you get it for free, but you have to lose a card from your hand, and you can't keep that. With the elementals, you can't keep them around. With Beans, you can really offset that, and you're still able to use your answers to continue finding more answers, more threats, and just exhaust your opponent's resources, closing them out of the game.
Yeah.
All right, so
Looks like Alberto played a Worm Coil Engine.
Worm Coil Engine, yep. All right, Karn is going to exile
Exile a Tron.
Power Plant.
Okay. Most likely demonstrating some sort of answer to Wormcoil Engine here.
Yes. Yeah, the deck certainly has plenty of answers to Wormcoil. The Wormcoil Engine's trigger is on death, so being exiled by Solitude or Leyline Binding will not generate tokens.
Or bounced by this guy.
Or bounced by Teferi, yeah. So we're going to see minus Teferi, bouncing the Wormcoil Engine. Sam draws a card. He's going to come crashing in for plenty of damage here. I think 12? With the Elder Gargoth here. Yep, going to grab some mana. Imagine we're seeing the One Ring come down. Alright, Sam's going to grab the basic island, make 4 mana from Omnath. Uses that mana to cast the One Ring. He's going to gain protection from everything until his next turn. Goes to combat, attacks with the Elder Gargaroth.
Looks like Alberto had protection from everything.
Oh, right.
So
I think the Gargaroth definitely comes in order to have a trigger, I think.
Might have drawn a card?
Yeah. So even though Alberto's got protection from everything, the Gargaroth can still
attack to get a trigger.
Yep. Ah, Reach and Trample. Vigilance, Reach and Trample. Because it didn't have enough words on it.
Questing Beast of Modern, I guess.
Yeah, we got to see Questing Beast last round as well.
Really?
Yep.
Great card.
Yeah, it came out of the Teamer Rhinos sideboard against Sam on 4-color.
That's a card that's really resurged to infamy since the Ring came out. Being able to prevent the protection has given it new legs in Modern.
Yeah. The fact that I think it can allow all of your creatures to get through. I think it says creatures you control can't have, like something along the lines of creatures you control can't have damage prevented. Sam's going to activate the Ring in response in order to draw a card. Could be seeing the Ensnaring Bridge here.
Gonna downtick, take a look at the sideboard, and he's thinking, can anything save me here? What's the answer?
Thinking hard here.
Looking toward the back of that pile. Snaring Bridge gets exiled by Karn.
Yeah, I think Alberto doesn't have the mana to do Oblivion Stone and then crack it.
He's looking at Wormcoil Engine here, putting it down on his hand.
Yeah. Yep. He's gonna grab the Oblivion Stone. Plays Chromatic Sphere. Opting to hold the stone so that it doesn't get exiled by Karn.
Doesn't draw a card as he has 7 already. No need to discard.
Alright. Alright, so untap. The ring will deal Sam 1 damage. Draws a card. Easy uptick on Teferi here. Imagine we also see Karn Liberated's -3. Could be dealing with Tron.
Potentially Karn on Karn violence here. Who knows? We'll see. A lot of game actions
Could be, yeah.
for Sam to take here. He's going to start with an attack, it looks like.
Yep, so that's going to be 12 damage coming in. Gargaroth is going to trigger and draw a card for Sam.
Omnath looks to be killing Karn.
Yep. So Omnath kills Karn. Alberto drops to 8, taking 8 damage. Sam draws 2 off of the ring, plays land for turn, triggers Omnath, gains 4. He's going to fetch to generate 4 mana off of Omnath. Going for the basic planes. "30 seconds left in the round, and normally this would be a problem, but our players are just playing for fun."
Another ring.
Another ring off of that Omnath mana.
Just ensuring with the protection from everything that there's almost no way to have this game slip out of his hands here.
Alright, Karn is going to minus, taking out
Mine.
another Tron piece. Yep, another mine. So Alberto's going to have to, I think, draw back into Tron in order to be able to Oblivion Stone and reset the board. This even still leaves Sam with the 1 ring. So we just see... Yeah, I think that's another mine. Ring's going to draw 2 cards. Or 3 cards. And Alberto is getting pretty low there. Alberto's at 6. This ring's at 3. It's going to take 3 next turn and then 4 on the subsequent turn. So we'll see Oblivion Stone. Getting countered by Force of Negation. Alberto's going to have to find another way to reset this board. Plays a Karn. Sam draws off the ring.
So Karn's going to resolve.
Yep, Karn resolves. Minus Karn, look at the sideboard. Snags a 1 ring. Which gets forced.
And looks like that'll be the game.
Yeah, that'll be the game.
Well,
Alright.
Example of how the 4-color deck can actually
With another Commandeer on top.
actually beat Tron here. Normally goes over top and is able to get the win, but with a Commandeer and some well-timed Force Negations, Sam gets the match on 4-color beans.
Yeah, I mean, that Commandeer could not have come at a better time. I mean, what better way to, counter 7 mana on turn 3 than to say, actually, I benefit from your lands.
Yeah.